Yes, we are live on YouTube. Warm welcome to all the youngsters watching us. Love you guys as always. Okay. Yes, we are live on YouTube. Just let warm welcome to all the youngsters watching us. Love you guys as always. Admin, we can let all the kids in. Okay. Yes. Just let warm welcome to all the youngsters watching us.
Yes, we can let the kids in. Meghad, I think there is resound. Can you speak again once? Echo.
Yeah. Am I audible? Namaste, namaste. Is there an
Yes,
echo?
we can let the kids in. Meghad, I think there is resound. Can you? Yes.
Yeah. Am I audible? Okay, everyone. Namaste, namaste. Is there an
Yes.
just give me a moment, we'll get it audible. Okay, everyone. Just give me a moment, we'll get it. Okay, everyone. Vishnupriya, can we please have the countdown? A very, very happy evening. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes.
Is there any echo now?
No.
We're all good. Why does this child always start sharing the screen? Naughty child. We're the only very, very happy evening. Okay, I can. Are you all able to hear me? I can again hear an echo.
Yes. Yes.
Is there any echo now?
No.
We're all good. Why does this child always start sharing the screen? Naughty child. We're the only. Okay, I can. Are you all able to? I can again hear an echo.
Yes. Yes.
Is there any echo now? Why does this child always start sharing the screen? Naughty child. Okay, we'll do one thing, Vishnupriya. Since my screen is echoing, you will need to make sure that you introduce Sridhar. I'm just typing it in chat for you. And I'm also ensuring that you have the... Okay, we'll do one thing, have to play the video.
Sure.
From NSN Memorial School, and today with the help of SOT, Summer of Transmission 2022, I am going to introduce one known person whom I know already, and I am going to know one unknown person whom I have not yet seen and I didn't even know them. So before that, I am going to say you a very big secret which SOT, Summer of Transmission 2022 teachers taught me, and that is PASS. PASS, pass. P for please add greetings. A, appreciation. S for smile, and another S for self-esteem. So come on, let's go and introduce my best friend in my nature to you all. She is one of my very favorite besties, and she is in my native place. So why should I introduce you to them? She will itself introduce her to you.
I am Induja. My native place is Manargudi. I am studying in Chennai. My school name is A.S. Vidyashramam. She is my best friend in my life. And we know in, I think I know in first standard.
Yeah, when she was studying first standard itself, she knows me very well. And yeah, and now I'm so scared to see the unknown person, but I have some braveness, and I'm not so feared for seeing the unknown persons. So come on, let's go. And now I am going to introduce one unknown person whom I didn't even know. So maybe someone would be walking here because this is the time of walking in this street. Oh, I see. Come here. I see these two girls here, and I have whom I have not yet seen. See, don't be scared, okay? I am not going to do you anything. You know English, right? Yes. Okay. What is your name? My name is Pranati. What's your name? My name is Sivaselvi. Okay, where are you coming from? Mannai or from Mannai? From Mannai. You? From Mannai. Oh, okay. You both are sisters, huh? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, no need of calling ma'am. They thought that if it is some unknown person, we have to call as ma'am only. So no need to call me as ma'am. Where is your house? There. Oh, there. Okay, I have not yet came there, but okay. Friends? Friends. Okay.
Happy evening, everyone. So this was Prakriti's video. We have received many videos for the last session, and this was the best. Prakriti, it was really awesome seeing you talking to the known people and unknown people. And today here for our 5th session. Let's have our rockstar mudra. Everyone, come on, let's do the rockstar mudra. Are you excited for the next session, guys? Yeah, yes, very well. So let's know who is the speaker for today. Let me introduce him to you so that it's going to be very fun learning session. So how many of you wish to have that calm look with a twinkle in the eyes and a smile on the lips at all times, whatever be the circumstances? Of all the CEOs and managing directors known to me, I'm yet to meet someone like him. His accolades include becoming the youngest managing director in the pharma industry. He has also held the position of the Associate Vice President for International Business at London and is presently the CEO of Helixon, an IIT-invested healthcare company. The salt and pepper savory-looking man's second name is humility. Let me first spotlight him. Yeah, here he goes. He carries a funny bone and loves cricket. Children, let's put our hands together to an ever calm, composed, humble, dynamic leader, mentor, and guide to many, Mr. Sridhar Ranganathan, an awesome speaker who will be teaching you speaking skills today. Over to you, Sridhar. Yeah, you can unmute.
Thank you. Otherwise, sometimes I will not realize and I'll keep on speaking. And after 30 minutes, people will be wondering, what am I doing? First of all, happy evening to everybody. It's really a great pleasure. Before I start, I want to tell you that you all are very special. Why do I say that you're very special? I strongly believe if there are millions or even billions of people of this age group that you all belong to, if there is someone, either your school correspondent, principal, or teacher, or your parents, or your friends, or your well wishers, or someone chose to recommend you to be part of this program, which means you are in the mind of someone who basically feels that this is important for you and your career progression is extremely important. So that way you're very special. And after I thought that you're very special, I felt that you are even more special than very special, maybe very, very special, because not all people who got the opportunity to take this particular program, which was given by their teacher, correspondent, principal, or the school, or parents, well-wishers, friends, relatives, anybody, chose to actually exercise or take this opportunity and be part of this program. So it means if you have decided to make use of this opportunity and put a foot forward towards progressing in your career, I think you are not just very special, you are very, very, and maybe add as many varies as possible, and you're very special. And I want to confess something, and I strongly believe in evolving storytelling myself. I thought I should become a storyteller. When you actually have two children, and when you want to be a good storyteller, it's a good opportunity for you to test on them. So I have two sons. One is 17, the other one is 12. So over the last 17 years or so, I've been trying to tell them story. In fact, the impact of great storytelling is witnessed by what is the response of people on the other side, right? So every time I started telling the story, within 2 minutes time, they go off to sleep. So, which is a great impact, right? So much so for the last 17 years, I've been telling the same story, because before I continue or before I finish the second part of the story, second line of the story, both my children would go off to sleep. And I then evolved into becoming a better storyteller. You know how? When I moved from Chennai to Bangalore and then to London, whenever I was away and when my wife had to put my children to sleep, she used to tell my children saying that, can you visualize dad telling story? So those people would visualize and then they go off to sleep actually. And that's how I evolved as a better storyteller, level 2. And then not just children, my wife used to tell even my parents and other adults who are at home, just visualize Sridhar telling story and they would go off to sleep. And that was the third level of evolution of storytelling. Now I've reached the fourth level of storytelling evolution, where I visualize myself closing my eyes, telling story, and I go off to sleep. And that's how it is. So today, after 30 minutes, if you all are going to sleep, please don't take credit for that. The credit has to come to me, because I'm pursuing a fifth level of storytelling as such. When it comes to public speaking, I'm sure all of us are interested in some way communicating to other people what we think, and hence public speaking becomes extremely important. I realized it when I was around 18 or so, when I went for an inter-college competition. I was given a topic 5 minutes before the actual competition. I was asked to speak for 1 minute. In that 5 minutes, I prepared very well, because it was about a famous political personality. I knew all the 7 points that I had to speak. And when I went up on stage for that 1 minute, for 30 to 45 seconds, I went completely blank. It was not like how this girl was introducing. It was not somebody whom I knew, whom I was interacting with. I thought I'm talking to somebody whom I didn't know completely, and it was completely blank. I was talking about myself. I didn't even know who I was. For 45 seconds or so, I just couldn't even utter a word. Then, as much as possible, I tried my level best and I said, good evening and thank you, and went down the stage. And the beauty was, after I finished my speaking, finished coming down the stage, I remembered everything. Before the event, I remembered everything. After the event, I remembered everything. But for that 1 minute on stage, I don't know what happened. I went completely blank. And that is how the power of public speaking is, right? Because many people want to do it, but at the same time, they are not able to do it. I want to share my screen to tell you some experience that I had before I move on to the session. This will be really very interesting for you, hopefully. I'm sure you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Sridhar.
Yeah. So it was in May 2006. I was in Sri Lanka, and it was around 650 plus of audience. And I had a speech which was around 650 to 700 words. And, there was minimal vocabulary in that speech. It was not so hugely, had huge vocabulary or something. It was a personal life experience which I had actually done. And then I had mentored the speech very well. And it was a simple structured speech. But what happened was something phenomenal, like what you people have done on the screen now. This is what happened to me. It was totally chaotic. Some red color line and somebody like Adi writing, and so many things happened, and it was just not possible for me to even stand there for a few seconds. And I had a dry mouth. I had completely, blind vision, and I was just not able to do. So eventually, what happened? I had to come down from the stage. I had to speak for 6 minutes or so, and it completely became a speech where I had to complete in less than 3 minutes.
Dear Sridhar,
And-
can you please stop the annotations because the screen is filled.
How do
with
I do that?
While sharing the screen, there is an option. Once the screen is shared, we have option of disable annotation. You need to click on share screen.
I did, and for share,
Did you
if
get
there's an
options?
annotate.
Yeah,
Annotate is there.
No, disable for annotations option.
Mouse, select text, draw, stamp, spotlight, eraser, format, and go.
Okay, can we do without sharing the screen? Because nothing is like, our students are very creative and filled our screen. My dear children, please don't do annotations. We will have amazing presentation by Sridhar. Please cooperate. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, they have started again.
Sridhar, can you do the can you do the thing without any share screen, please? Because since you
I'll
don't
try
know
that.
how to switch off the annotation, this will keep happening.
In the down screen after participants poll chart, there is screen share option. There, if you click, you'll get the disable annotation option.
Okay, I'll try that once again. But I'm able to see annotate, but I'm not able to see disable. That's the problem.
No. In the down, like mute, start video, participant chart, share screen there. Not in the above, but bottom part of the thing.
Sridhar, can you please stop the screen share and we'll continue with the presentation. Thank you so much.
Just one second. Okay, so shall I disable this and go ahead?
Disable for annotations. Did you find that option?
No, I'm not able to find. So I'll stop sharing, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Sridhar, let's carry on without the
Yeah,
share.
just one second, just one second, just trying, just one second. Okay, so I'll stop sharing this. Right. So when this presentation was happening in Sri Lanka, so I was part of a contest which was involving around 500 to 600 people, and when I wanted to actually present that well-mentored speech, I had dry mouth and I had really butterflies running in my stomach, and I was not able to do it. That's when I realized public speaking is the world's greatest fear. Then when I came down, I was already a head of marketing. I was 35 years old. I was head of marketing of a multinational company. I was wondering, why should I be doing this? And I started hating public speaking. So in fact, that tagline, hate public speaking, was like a hashtag for me continuously for a long time. Then I thought I should overcome that. Somehow I should do something. Maybe when I saw some people giving some interesting stories, I thought I should also give some very interesting stories. I went and picked up some stories. Many times when public speaking is happening, people take up inspiring stories. Thomas Alva Edison comes as a great example. I think Thomas Alva Edison failed either 999 or 9,999 times. I don't know that. So to invent the electric bulb. But when I tried speaking about him, I ended up becoming a bulb, and that is how it eventually became. And I continued to hate public speaking. Then I thought it would be important for me to become better in my language because I had limited vocabulary. So I thought if I can speak something using very good language, if I can improve my vocabulary, then I'll be able to do that. So somebody suggested that every day you should take one word from newspaper and start reading, identifying one word, and then maybe you can subsequently start using it. For almost 30 days, religiously, I started trying to use that. One after slow heart, cohort, slumber, and all that. So finally, after 30 days, I had some 30 interesting words. I thought it should be very good for me to go and make a presentation to people. So I used all those 30 words and then made a great speech in one of the clubs that I was part of. And after my speech was over, one guy came and told me, Sridhar, your speech was excellent, but next time try and speak in English, he said. So my attempt of improving my vocabulary to become a great speaker and then stop to hate public speaking did not happen after that as well. Then somebody said, maybe there's a problem with your pronunciation and enunciation, Sridhar. You probably have to change that, because whether it was Barack Obama or Mikhail Gorbachev, I used to make them look like South Indians because that's how my pronunciation was. So somebody suggested if you read newspaper loudly every day, you will be able to actually overcome that problem. So I started reading newspaper loudly every day. After 1 week, the newspaper wala stopped putting newspaper in my house because he said, everybody in their neighborhood is complaining about you. Please don't do all this, he said. Then I thought, okay, maybe my personality is not really engulfing them. So I need to really become a huge, I need to have a huge stage presence when I'm doing it. For me, body language doesn't happen. When I talk about body language, body goes in one direction, language goes in another direction. It doesn't work at all. And then I thought vocal variety, maybe, the voice modulation, that is very important. So in one of the speeches, I forced myself to push some strong words into it. And towards the end, I started telling people, what is the most important thing you need in life? Fire, fire, and fire. The security came running saying that, where is fire? So in all what I was trying to do, in trying to come out of this hate public speaking, I only continued to actually face that public speaking is the greatest fear in the world and continue to hate public speaking. So somewhere I need to bring in a transition in my approach to public speaking. And that is why I realized, instead of going ahead with hate public speaking, somewhere I should start understanding that it has to be date public speaking. I realized a few things, and that is where what Mahatria, my guru, said, I remembered. Without changing anything of Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita changed everything of Arjuna. Without changing anything of Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita changed everything of Arjuna. Without changing anything of me, It's not that my vocabulary has to change. It's not my pronunciation and enunciation has to change. If not, it's not my ability to tell inspiring stories have to change. It's not my dominating stage presence has to change. Without changing anything of that, everything can change. Today, 16 years later, when people see me, they will not believe what I did in 2006 in Sri Lanka. And people who saw me that day will not believe that I would one day be able to speak the way I'm speaking today. Of course, there is a huge metamorphosis that happened, and there are many people and there are many fraternities that were responsible for it. What I wanted you to understand is public speaking is a learnable skill. And if you can do something, you can also move from hate public speaking to date public speaking. It is as easy as that. What are you supposed to be doing? I'm not going to give you any abbreviations today, but maybe you can remember a few things that I'm going to tell. Date yourself, first of all. When I say date yourself, date your originality. You are what you are. When people said that you have to come out of your comfort zone, it doesn't mean that if you're an introvert, you have to become an extrovert. That is basically drop your inhibition. You don't be other people conscious. That is very important. But be original. Be what you are. If you actually, in fact, if you look at people like Dhoni and Virat Kohli, if you all follow cricket, they're two different personalities, but both of them are great captains. Hardik Pandya and KL Rahul, they're two different captains. They're two different personalities, but both are successful captains. It doesn't mean that you actually, if you're an introvert, you need to become an extrovert to become a great public speaker. With the stoic presence that you have, without moving an inch from where you are, you will be able to make a huge impact on the audience. So which means first and foremost, date your originality. You should respect yourself for what you are. You are the most unique creature God has created. So which means you need to have and appreciate and applaud that originality and be yourself, which means you don't have to fake somebody else. You don't have to start screaming. You don't have to jump across. You don't have to run from one place to the other for you to actually make an impact when you're doing public speaking. The second most important thing is date your audience. Audience is the most important thing. Like you all are today. Without you, me speaking has got no meaning. And why I say audience is most important, you don't need to ever impress the audience. You have to only be expressing all the time. How do you express all the time? Audience expect you to be an imperfectionist like they are. They don't expect a perfectionist, which means you don't need to preach people. You can just share your experience. Like how I said that I had problem in public speaking a few years ago, and I've been able to overcome that. I'm not preaching anything to you. I'm just sharing my experience, and people love you being an imperfectionist. And when an imperfectionist comes and says, you're able to relate very well, the audience will be able to relate very well. And because of that, you will be able to make a huge impact. And that is very, very important. And the third thing which I feel is very important is date practice, which means every time you get an opportunity to speak, like how she said, right? When she had an opportunity to capture a video and send, she was able to invite her friend and speak to somebody whom she knew. And she also was able to talk to somebody whom she did not know. And thereby she had an opportunity, two opportunities for her to go and speak to people. So which means every single time you get an opportunity, you'll not believe, over the last 16 years time, I have not probably become a world champion of public speaking, but I have participated in more than 150 contests. 150 times I've gone up on stage just with an intention, selfish motive of exposing myself to different people. The only way to overcome the fear of public speaking is to face public speaking. When you face the fear goes. When you avoid the fear grows. So the only way for you to overcome the fear of public speaking is to date the stage as many times as possible. Every time you get an opportunity, whether to speak to one friend of yours or to speak to a group of people, make use of the opportunity and you will start enjoying. If you're able to just do three things, of course, I will be happy to provide a lot of opportunities for you people in future as to how to build humor inside that. Because all what you have to do is to bring personal stories. Like you would have seen me talking about how I had an experience, and those personal stories can build a lot of opportunities for humor. I can give one more example of how you can incorporate humor, because if you can actually have a practice of self-deprecating process, then you will be able to bring in a lot of humor. For example, if I have to talk about my yoga session experience, somehow I always wanted to be a great, somebody who can do yoga very well. So when I went to this yoga center, I saw my yoga teacher's picture on the wall with his leg around his neck. I got very curious. Is it possible for me also to put my leg around my neck one day? So I went inside and asked him, saying that, sir, is it possible for me also to put my leg around my neck? He said, yeah, why not? When you join the yoga class, within a few weeks, you will be able to do it. 1 week over, 2 weeks over, 3 weeks over, I was eagerly waiting for that session to come where my leg can actually be going around the neck. When I looked at my leg and I looked at my neck, the distance was actually from Chennai to Bangalore via Cochin. That's how it was. I knew that it is not possible. At the most, I was able to lift my leg only up to the waist. One day, finally, without not being able to control my curiosity, I went and asked him, sir, when will I be able to put my leg around the neck? Then the yoga teacher said, Sridhar, for the progress that you made, forget about you putting your leg around the neck. At the most, you show me your neck, I will put my leg around it. So this is a simple example of how you can incorporate of something that's happening on a day-to-day basis as humorous thing into it. I can give you hundreds of such scenarios where you can actually build humor into it. That's probably the second stage. But the most important thing is if you can actually retain your originality, if you respect your audience. What do I mean by respecting your audience? Understand whom you're speaking to. Today, I am not being invited as a CEO of a pharma company or a healthcare company. Because if I'm going to talk to you about medicines, if I'm going to talk to you about healthcare, if I'm going to talk to you about diagnostics, nobody is going to listen to me. You're not subject expert here. I'm here to talk to people who actually are so special, so very special, that if you can master the art of public speaking, you will be able to reach even greater heights in your life, because knowledge and skills only help you to some extent. But if you're able to communicate with not what knowledge you have and about the skills that you have, you'll be able to reach greater heights. So which means if you are able to understand the audience better, you'll be able to relate very well. And that's very important. That's why dating the audience is very important. So if you are able to retain your originality, if you're authentic in what you're speaking, if you're able to relate with the audience and showing that I'm imperfect as you are, but you can also become perfect like me. And that's very important. And then dating the stage, dating your practice. How many times you can go back and do something is very important. That's stage one. And once you master that, you will be able to add a lot of things by adding variety to your speech. You can actually sing songs in that. You can bring in humor in that, and you can make a lot of value addition to your speech. Now, I want to quickly give an opportunity for somebody to come up and try and incorporate humor. If you're already good at public speaking, try and give me one example as to how you can raise your hand and then take one example of what happens in your day-to-day life and see how you can actually incorporate humor into it. Anybody wants to try?
Yes. Who wants to try this?
Anyone?
Loshit
Or
Kumar,
would-
are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Loshit.
Yeah, please unmute it.
Yeah, Loshit. Want to try? Please. What do you want to try? I'm happy that you actually decided to try. What do you mean? Choose one area. Studies? Shall we try humor on studies? Okay. Are you good at studies or average at studies? Very good at studies? How is it?
Average.
Average. Okay. So studies is not something which really comes so easily for all of us, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how do we bring that pain as a humor? So whenever you have a pain point, you'll be able to bring that as humor out, right? Any pain point in life will become a humor. Right? Can we try that? So what is the biggest pain for you in your studies?
Tamil.
Tamil, no? Right? Sorry?
Spelling mistake.
I didn't get you.
Spelling mistake, sir.
Spelling mistake. You get a lot of spelling mistake, you're saying. Good. So how do you bring humor in that? So can we try something like this? Every time I want to write my exam, when teacher asks me a question, I know when it is difficult for me to actually give the right spelling. I want to test my teacher by giving the name of my name itself, because my name itself has a lot of spellings, and it's difficult for me for the teacher to even read that and then understand who I am.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So something like that I'm saying. So even a simplest thing, you can translate that as humor. So you can say that when teachers ask me questions which I don't know answer, I give them answers which they don't know at all. Correct? And you can add a few more things. Is your mom very particular about you studying well?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I use this actually. Every time I have an exam, my mom expected me to touch 100. And I did. And after that, I'll take 1 or 2 tablets of Dolo and I'll become all right. Right? So you can see now how you basically can take the pain point and translate that into humor. Okay, Loshit? Thanks for attempting. Anybody else wants to try
Yeah,
quickly?
we have one more who is very excited.
Yeah.
Varnika Vaibhav. Yeah. They are also
Yes, sir.
excited.
Yeah, Varnika.
Yes, sir.
Who is going to try now?
You will try.
Yeah, please. So what would you want to try on?
I am good at studies, but but I am weak in Tamil. I am little bit weak in Tamil.
Okay. You want to try something on that?
Yes, sir.
So what can be what do you think will be the best humor? Because that's a pain point. What is pain in Tamil for you?
I will do many spelling mistakes for in Tamil, so it's very difficult for me to learn Tamil. I learn spelling mistakes, so try using difficult words, and I'll try difficult writing difficult words, and use Tamil spellings, and I will use my brain, and I will think for a while, and then write that, and I'll overcome that problem.
Very good. Which class are you in?
Sixth.
Sixth standard. So you can say from the first standard to fifth standard, the number of words that I've invented myself, which nobody understands in the world, has crossed already 1,000. And I have a different dictionary called Vaibhav Dictionary, and that can give you all new words in Tamil, which even Thiruvalluvar and Kambar have not discovered or found, right?
So good.
Something like that. So see, it's a pain point, and you probably know that your spelling mistake can actually create a new word, and that word can, I mean, you know, it's a pain that nobody will understand that, but then you can say that I have a dictionary of words which the world will not understand. I'll be able to explain. So one day you can say that I will become a poet, like what Bharati, Kamban, and Thiruvalluvar were, and you people will start following me, and those words I will be able to teach you, right? So you want to try, Varnika, anything else?
No, sir.
So are you good at cooking?
No.
Have you tried cooking?
Yes, but yes.
Right. So I mean, why don't you like cooking?
I like cooking, but I am not that much. I am interested, but I am not that much. I cannot cook
Good in
that
it,
much.
right?
Like,
You're not good at it, right?
I love cooking, but
So you can say you love cooking, the cooking doesn't love you, right?
yes, sir.
So when you try, for example, when you say that you are making an alva or even an idli, for example, I tried making an idli. Exaggeration is always good in humor. You say I tried making an idli and I placed that on the table. My dad came and took that and used it as a paperweight.
No.
Funny.
Right? So simplest thing, see, it's a pain that you're not able to make good idli can be converted into humor. And when you convert that into humor, you can actually make a huge impact on the audience. That's very important. Right? So should I take any more example or should we go to the conclusion?
Let's conclude, Sridhar.
Okay. Thank you.
Varnika.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for participating. It was really great. So I would like to once again say that if you're able to focus on dating your originality, dating your audience, and dating the stage or practice as many times as possible, public speaking, which happens to be the world's greatest fear, which is proven even by research, and it is expressed in as many terms. There's one more aspect of public speaking which is not told by the world, but it is a reality which is actually experientially understood by many people, including me. Public speaking is the world's greatest pleasure. It is in pursuit of that pleasure or moving from that stage of public speaking being the world's greatest fear to move from that stage to enjoy the world's greatest pleasure. People try many things, and in the process they either fall or come up, and then they again fall and they come up. And people who persist will be able to reach that stage of enjoying the world's greatest pleasure. Don't worry if you fail, because only the best will be remembered. Do you know what is the success percentage of Sachin Tendulkar? Somebody who has scored hundreds in all forms of cricket, his success rate is less than 35%, which means every 100 times he has gone off to bat, only 35 times he has scored more than 50. Remaining times he has scored less than 50. But people don't remember the 65 times he has scored less than 50 or zeros and single digit scores. People remember only the 35 times he went and scored those centuries and the high scores as such. And that's very important. So similarly, even when you fail, people will not remember that. They will encourage you and say that, come on, because I see an imperfectionist that you actually are. And that's why we're able to relate. And when you do well, people remember the best ones. And that will always help you to go to the next level. So, in pursuit of the world's greatest pleasure, keep dating public speaking as many times as possible. Thank you. All the very best.
Thank you so much, Sridhar. Thank you so much for that. So now, after this amazing sessions, let's say from hating public speaking to now date public speaking. Can we all say it together? From hate public speaking to date public speaking. Come on, everyone join me by saying this. From hate public speaking to, can I hear all of you? Date public speaking. One more time and final time. Hate public speaking to, louder. Date public speaking. Yes, and the final and the last part, everyone will be excited for this because we have exciting prizes. Yes, I know you're all waiting for this fun work. So the fun work for this session is you have to send us a beautiful video describing yourself, telling us about yourself, but in a fun way. The best video will definitely get prizes. I repeat, the fun work for this session is you have to send us video describing or telling us about yourself in a fun way. So Binga ma'am has some technical issues, but definitely she'll be bang on in the next session. See you all. Loving you all so much. Bye-bye. See you for the next session. Bye-bye.